so much, everyone, for staying with us tonight on the program. Our main conversation, although we've started the conversation around the Lekki toll shooting, which the Amnesty International has spoken about, the military has also explained its role and that they were invited. Perhaps a bit of a variation to what the state governor has said. But there is an investigation. There is a panel of inquiry into that matter. We wait to hear what the panel says afterwards. But tonight's conversation is about what has become perhaps a major storm, which began online. Young Nigerians say in 2023 it won't be game as normal, and they are going to take their own destinies in their hands, and they are also campaigning that young Nigerians should get their PVCs. One of such Nigerians is Chioma Agwegbu. I want to hear from her what the agitations of these Nigerians are. Chioma, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We have heavyweight politicians in the studio. You as a young Nigerian, we have very experienced politicians, some of whom yourself and your friends are saying you are going to dislodge come 2023. What are the real issues here, Chioma?
Thank you very much, Sharon. Thank you so much for having me. I don't know that there's much talk about a dislodgement as there is talk about widening the pool of capacity, competence, and character as far as the leadership of Nigeria is concerned across all levels of governance. So this is, at the presidency, at the Senate, so within the National Assembly, within the state houses of assembly, gubernatorial positions, but also, councillorship positions and local government positions. Also to react very quickly to something that was said earlier, I do not think that what happened at Lekki toll gate can be classed as a mistake. People died. People died, people were injured. I'm very grateful to, to the sage, Dr. Bode George for speaking about the fact that, for recognizing what a lot of government officials have had trouble recognizing, which is the fact that young people were sitting down, singing the national anthem and holding up flags. It is the most horrific way. It is the most horrific signal to young Nigerians who are every day trying to be patriotic. So I do not believe that we can class it as a mistake. Crimes have been committed. People have lost their lives. As a matter of fact, you cannot look at the bullets all over the toll gate and still call this a mistake. This was an intentional, dastardly act committed by so far unknown people against Nigerian citizens. And we do not only want, these judicial panels, we want an independent panel of inquiry that will look into this and prescribe very heavy sanctions within a reasonable amount of time so that these families can find closure. We also want bodies returned. There are several accounts of young people who were at the venue saying that bodies were carted away. Why will we not allow people bury their dead? As a matter of fact, and Mr. Bode George mentioned this, he said people watch this on live stream. Right? There were over 150,000 people watching this shooting as people were running. It is not something you can erase or deny. So it's not as much dislodgement. We're looking for a government in 2023 that has empathy, a government that listens, a government that will not respond to calls to end SARS and end police brutality with even more heinous brutality against citizens. That's what we're looking for in 2023. And we have the numbers to make that happen.
Oh, when you say you have the numbers, tell me about that. Already saying hashtag get your PVs to 2023, hashtag NPDP, hashtag NAPC. These are the biggest establishment, politically speaking, in Nigeria. How will that happen?
I do not believe, again, in ending any political party, right? But if you look at the numbers from INEC, young people aged 18 to 35 currently make up 51% of the voting population, right? So you have about 42.9 million young people registered between the ages of 18 to 35. And this is without, INEC hasn't even opened new registration. I think they're going to do this in the first quarter of next year. You can imagine how many more young people, if you look at the entirety of this End SARS movement, it was largely led by young people under the age of 30. So these are people 18 to 26. You can bet that these people will be first on the queue, first quarter of next year to pick up their PVC. So the entire campaign is to show, the entire campaign really is about, we've seen the lapses in government in this country. We have seen the ways in which government has failed us, the ways in which our voices have not been represented, right? You cannot say you have ended SARS in 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019. And then in 2020, we still have incidents. As a matter of fact, up till this morning, we still had a sentence from the Nigerian Air Force talking about their staff that's, beat up a Nigerian. or their staff that beat up a number of Nigerians in the name of enforcing curfews. We still had the army put out a statement yesterday because one of their staff beat up a lady at an ATM because she was asking him, why aren't you on the queue? This is the reason why we need to end brutality across the entire spectrum of our security forces. We can't have, terror from the people who are supposed to be protecting us, protecting our property. That's not on. So it's not as much as ending any party as it is ensuring that we get people into office who will care for us, who will listen to our cry, who will ensure that, we don't have hoodlums looting, palliative warehouses, because these things have been distributed. We have people, more Nigerians slid under the, extreme poverty line during the pandemic, right? During the lockdown. Why weren't these things distributed? We even saw a legislator tweeting that he planned to share palliatives on his birthday. Are they party packs? What kind of country do we have? So you had these things locked up. You wanted to share them on your birthday. It's ridiculous. And this is the reason why young people are saying, we are ready to take our destiny into our hands. It's not ending a party. It's not ending the APC. It's not ending the PDP. We're just saying we want a government that listens to us at all levels.
Okay.
We weren't asking for education. We weren't asking for a country that works. We just said, can we live? And even that request we were not given.